For many people who have experienced trauma, particularly in childhood, feelings of shame, guilt, or worthlessness can become deeply ingrained. These feelings don't just appear out of nowhere. They often stem from a distorted view of yourself, shaped by the trauma you endured. This negative self-perception can make you feel as though you are fundamentally flawed or even to blame for what happened to you, which couldn't be further from the truth. Negative self-perception is more than just low self-esteem. It's a pervasive feeling of being broken, unworthy of love, or like an outsider who doesn't belong. These thoughts can be incredibly damaging, and if left unaddressed, can prevent you from living a fulfilling life. In this article, we'll explore what negative self-perception looks like, how it can show up in your daily life, and ways to begin shifting these harmful beliefs. We'll also include real-life scenarios to highlight how these feelings can manifest and impact relationships, mental health, and overall well-being. What is negative self-perception? Negative self-perception refers to a deeply held belief that you are flawed, broken, or unworthy. It often stems from past trauma, especially if you've internalized the idea that you're to blame for what happened or that something about you caused the trauma. These feelings can lead to chronic guilt, shame, and a tendency to view yourself through an overly critical lens. When negative self-perception takes hold, it can feel like no matter what you do, you'll never be good enough. Even in positive situations, like spending time with friends or achieving something at work, these feelings can persist, leaving you feeling isolated and disconnected. Common signs of negative self-perception. To better understand how negative self-perception impacts daily life, let's explore 5 common signs and provide real-life scenarios that illustrate how these feelings might manifest. 1. Frequently, feeling ashamed or embarrassed about who you are or things you've done. Shame is a key component of negative self-perception. It's more than just feeling bad about a mistake. It's a pervasive sense of embarrassment or regret about who you are as a person. This feeling often leads to self-isolation, as you may fear that others will judge or reject you. 1. The constant apology. You're out to dinner with a group of friends and you accidentally knock over your glass of water. While it's a small mistake, you immediately feel a rush of shame. You apologize repeatedly, not just for the spill, but for being clumsy or stupid. Even after your friends laugh it off and reassure you that it's no big deal, you can't shake the feeling that you've embarrassed yourself. You spend the rest of the evening feeling ashamed, convinced that your mistake ruined the night for everyone. This kind of shame can become overwhelming, making it difficult to enjoy social interactions. Small mistakes feel like huge failures, reinforcing the belief that there's something fundamentally wrong with you. 2. Believing you are fundamentally flawed, broken, or unworthy of love. Negative self-perception often involves the belief that you are inherently unworthy of love or connection. This can lead to self-sabotaging behaviors where you push people away or avoid relationships altogether, convinced that you don't deserve them. 2. The fear of rejection. You've been seeing someone for a few months and things are going well, but instead of feeling happy, you're overwhelmed with anxiety. You start thinking, I don't deserve this person. They're going to realize I'm not good enough and leave. You begin to pull back, avoiding calls or making excuses not to spend time together. Deep down, you believe that it's only a matter of time before they reject you, so you try to beat them to it by pushing them away. This belief that you're unworthy of love can prevent you from forming meaningful relationships. Even when things are going well, negative self-perception convinces you that it's only temporary and that you don't deserve happiness. 3. Constantly apologizing, even when you haven't done anything wrong. If you struggle with negative self-perception, you might find yourself apologizing constantly, even when there's nothing to apologize for. This is often a result of feeling like a burden to others, or believing that your presence is inherently problematic. 3. The over-apology you're at work, and a colleague asks for help with a project. You spend the next few hours working with them, but afterward, you find yourself apologizing for taking up their time, even though they asked for your help. You apologize again when you send them the completed work, just in case it's not perfect. Your colleague reassures you that everything is fine, but you can't stop feeling like you've done something wrong. This pattern of over-apologizing often stems from feeling like you're constantly inconveniencing others, even when you're not. It's a reflection of deeper feelings of unworthiness and the belief that your actions are always falling short. 4. Thinking that others would be better off without you. When negative self-perception becomes overwhelming, it can lead to thoughts of worthlessness, where you believe that others would be better off without you in their lives. This can lead to isolation, withdrawal, and even depression. 4. The thoughts of disappearing. You're having a tough week, and you've been distant from your friends. When you finally check your messages, you see that they've been trying to reach out, asking if you're okay. Instead of feeling comforted, you feel guilty. You start thinking, they'd be better off without me. I'm just bringing everyone down. Even though your friends clearly care about you, the voice in your head tells you that they're better off if you disappear. These thoughts of being a burden can create a vicious cycle where you isolate yourself out of guilt, leading to further loneliness and reinforcing the belief that you don't belong. 5. Feeling like an outsider who doesn't belong, even when you're surrounded by friends. Negative self-perception can make you feel like you don't fit in, even in situations where you're surrounded by people who care about you. This feeling of being an outsider often stems from the belief that you are somehow different or less than those around you. 5. The outsider in a room full of friends. You're at a party with close friends, but instead of enjoying yourself, you feel out of place. Everyone is laughing and having a good time, but you can't shake the feeling that you don't belong. You smile and try to join in, but deep down, you're convinced that your friends are only tolerating you out of pity. You leave early, feeling more disconnected than ever. This sense of not belonging is common for those with negative self-perception. Even when you're physically present, emotionally, you feel distant and detached, as though you're watching life from the outside. Overcoming negative self-perception, steps toward healing. Negative self-perception doesn't have to define your life. While it's deeply rooted in trauma and past experiences, there are ways to challenge and change these harmful beliefs. 1. Therapy. Working with a therapist, particularly one who specializes in trauma or self-esteem issues, can help you explore the root causes of your negative self-perception. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, for example, is highly effective at helping you challenge distorted beliefs about yourself and replace them with more balanced, realistic thoughts. 2. Self-compassion. Practicing self-compassion involves treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer to a friend. When feelings of shame or worthlessness arise, try reminding yourself that you are human and that everyone makes mistakes. You are worthy of love and kindness just as you are. 3. Mindfulness. Mindfulness can help you become more aware of negative thoughts and self-talk. By noticing these patterns without judgment, you can start to question their validity. Over time, this awareness can help you break free from automatic negative thoughts. 4. Building supportive relationships. Surround yourself with people who lift you up and remind you of your worth. Positive, supportive relationships can counteract feelings of unworthiness and help you see yourself in a more positive light. You are more than your negative thoughts. Negative self-perception can be a heavy burden to carry, but it's important to remember that these feelings are not a reflection of your true worth. Healing from trauma and shifting these deeply ingrained beliefs takes time, but it is possible. You are not broken, and you are worthy of love, acceptance, and connection. With the right support and self-compassion, you can begin to challenge these harmful beliefs and replace them with a more positive and realistic view of yourself. You've survived the trauma, and now it's time to start seeing yourself as the strong, resilient person you truly are.